She literally responds to people that still live in the projects. Like, alright, so we're gonna be eating some crab legs tonight. I have my coconut water over here. I just got some regular snow crabs with corn. I thought they were gonna give me 2 at least. They gave me 1 corn and 2 potatoes. So I'm just gonna see how the sauce is looking, because that's all I got at this point. All right, so I'm gonna put on my gloves because I just did my nails. So today I just got up and I decided to get my nails done. I'll show you guys up close. Nicki announced that she'll be back on Friday. I've been waiting for new music because these rapper girls, they really don't know what they're doing. And it just got boring just creatively. Like, they just did not know what to talk about because y'all really talk about the same shit. So I'm happy that Nicki is back. You know, a lot of things has transpired within her career. So it definitely takes a lot for you to bounce back from all the shit that she had to go through. Just gonna be putting this on. So I had to put on my bib because I didn't want to mess up my shirt. You know, when you're wearing white, you gotta be real particular. And Nicki said that she's gonna be back on Friday. I'm super excited. I think that music has definitely changed a lot, and not for the good. It's really hard to digest new age music. Everyone is pretty much selling the same dream, the same idea of happiness. And I just know somewhere deep down inside they just don't feel good, because you don't really get to have your own privacy. Like, you don't get to have your own life. You don't get to have your own opinion without getting canceled. Personally, cancel culture is dumb. I feel like if you allow people to bully you, they will. If you have to respond to everything in order to feel like you're powerful, and that's also a downfall as well. Someone like Cardi, she has so much money. She literally responds to people that still live in the projects. Like, wherever you go in life, you gotta know when to, like, cut off the old version of you. Because how can you be up in the mountains or up in the hills with all your money, with all your Birkins, with all your Balenciagas, and you still arguing with people that are killing roaches in their apartment? Like, how can you do that? It's just crazy to me. So that's why I respect Nicki for, like, taking the time to just, like, step away. Because it's very easy for you to slip into your old habits. We all do it. It's all about you using discernment, because there's no way God bless me with all that damn money and I'm on the internet arguing with people. That's why I respect Rihanna. Rihanna was like, you know what? This shit is a joke. She don't really have to say much when she's selling makeup or selling lingerie. Like, makeup and lingerie kind of speaks for itself, so, like, there's really nothing to explain. So it gives you the leeway to really just live your life. Like, she posts, she goes about her business, she does her fashion shows, she goes about her business. She was in a relationship with someone, she exited out of that relationship, now she's with ASAP. Nobody really knows how she's doing. Like, nobody needs to know how she's doing. Like, she's accumulated the level of success where she doesn't really have to talk, and that's really the goal. You should never have to look back. Not to say that you shouldn't appreciate where you come from, but more so like you shouldn't have to come off of your pedestal in order to make people feel comfortable fucking with you, because everybody doesn't need to fuck with you as well. Okay, there's always going to be people that are watching you that don't like you, that got something bad to say, that doesn't understand your life. But it's really not your responsibility to like explain shit to them, especially when you worked hard for what the fuck you got. And I think that should apply to like everybody, not just celebrities, you know. But they just have like a super enhanced camera on them all the time. Like they always have like heavy surveillance. So that's a life I just don't want, that I truly don't care about. And honestly, you choose the type of life that you want to live, because there are definitely celebrities that they don't talk about their personal life. You don't know shit about them. Or if you see them with somebody else and they were married at one point, you just gotta mind your business. Because some of them, they just don't do the explaining shit. Like they really just live their life without having to announce to the world like their next move. Like that's another thing that I think be blocking people's like blessings, like always having to announce what you're doing next, how you feeling every moment. You know, you gotta post a picture if you're happy, you know. Even when you're happy and you post, it seems as if people still have commentary about, you know, how you live in and shit like that. Like that's why the internet could be a very vicious place, because people just have, they got a hold on your life. You got to hold on the what's next, the how is she living, how is this person. Sorry, I'm fucking this up. The facade is really selling more than anything. Like, I had seen a couple weeks ago, like, I'm a fan of Lizzo. Not really her music, but just, like, her confidence. And, yeah, like, I just love confident women, you know? It makes me feel good. Like, we don't have to necessarily look like each other for me to, like, fuck with what she's doing. But for her birthday, she had a lot of fun. You know, she was with her friends and they were twerking and doing what girls really do, you know? There's no part of her life that she's able to keep private, because everything has to be recorded. Especially the fact that, like, she's not making music, so she don't really have anything else to promote but her living her best life, quote unquote. But then she goes on TikTok and she's crying. But she's like, you know, I feel like people don't care about me.
You know that part of sadness where you feel like a burden on everyone and annoying and nobody cares about you? Can we get rid of that part? It's like, yo, I'm already sad. Gotta add insult to injury that I have no one to talk to about it. It's crazy. Like, why do we feel this way? Why do we feel this way when we get sad?
I personally wouldn't want to have so many people around me, but people are not able to identify when I'm not okay. Or I'm not in a good mental space. But yet, Instagram don't miss a day of my content, you know? TikTok don't miss a day of my content. It's kind of like an exchange for validation. You gotta sell your happiness. You gotta sell your privacy. You're not allowed to just exist. And nobody really wants to exist, but like, I think existing is a part of living. Like, I think that people have like a misconception of living their best life. Like, even when that whole quote came out, like everyone was like, yeah, I'm living my best life, and they're on a beach, you know, or you're making a big purchase, so like you're living your best life now. And not to say that you can't get nice things for yourself, but like, I just feel like there's more to that. Yeah, I don't think God wanted me to wear that. But every time I have a reason for something to happen, I'm like, yeah, God didn't want that. But living your best life isn't materialistic things. It's not about how much shit you could buy. You know, it's not about how many destinations you could touch. Because it's really about how you feel about yourself inside. Like, I kind of shifted my idea of stability by I stopped chasing like financial stability, like, because I wanted to be financially stable so bad that I was unstable, and that was like really like eye-opening for me. Like, the real stability is having balance and knowing when to disconnect from the matrix. The matrix is the outside world, outside of yourself, society, and like how you're supposed to be, how you're programmed to move through the world. Once you break out of that idea of dealing with life, you start to see things differently. And you start to see how simple shit is, you know? There's always gonna be a new challenge, but challenge is good. I enjoy the possibilities of things changing. Change is really fun to me. I get bored really easily, and I truly don't like waking up every day and doing the same shit. Like, it freaks me out. It makes me feel like I'm a robot in a way. I know a lot of people live that way because they need to be able to survive. They need to be able to pay their bills. They need to be able to maintain. But there's a sense of sacrifice when it comes like to the mental, where sometimes maintaining, being calculated, being so like strategic all the time, it can really drive you nuts. Because like, what if one day like things are not like that? What if one day things are not in alignment for you to work? What if you're not able to walk? What if you're not able to taste again? Like, different things that could possibly happen that takes away that comfort, you know? And I think that's mainly why a lot of these celebrities be losing their fucking mind. Because they're so used to living off of external validation. Like, they don't know who they are as a person. Like, they're so embedded in the character. I got a little lip gloss. They're so embedded in the character that they really don't even know who they are. Because they're branded to sell that character. That's why the Joker ended up, you know, doing what he did. Unfortunately, I think with Keith Ledger or something. Like, he ended up offing himself because the idea of consistently playing a certain role, it could drive you nuts. That's why sometimes it's okay to be a kid. It's okay to explore your inner child. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be honest. Sometimes you want to live up to a certain standard, and it's like, you're not gonna always be in that mental space to be that person. But self-acceptance is so important. and just knowing your limits, knowing your boundaries. Know what you bring to the table. Even if you are the table, even if you're the only person sitting at that table, you gotta know what you bring to that table. I'm out here spitting. I fucked up my makeup at this point. This is atrocious. I love corn. Corn.
I love Wells.
What's that?
I loved Wells since I was a little girl.
It really just, it feels like a different vibe, you know? Like it feels like, feels like I'm going into a different dimension when I eat corn. So I'm like, damn, I'm just going deeper and deeper into it. When you talk about like selling your soul is who you truly are. I think people assume it's like you physically, you know, selling your soul. I personally don't believe all of that. I don't be knowing people's business like that. Your soul is who you truly are. And in exchange for that, you get money. You get the fame, you get the access, the notorieties or whatever, like, you get everything. Sometimes it's really not worth it. DMX recently passed away. And I remember on my timeline, there was like so many people talking about it. He's a legend, this, that. This week, they ain't talking about him. I haven't seen shit about DMX. Granted, he passed away during a time where a lot of our legends are leaving the earth. So it's somewhat normalized at this point for people to go on. But he is a person, he is a father, an uncle, a son. You know, he left behind his whole family. But the industry don't give a fuck about that. It's about what sells and what they can capitalize off of. So we got people like Sweetie, who is marketable, you know, not really legendary within the same capacity as anyone else, honestly. Like I can't even think of like who would be in comparison. There's really no comparisons. Like Sweetie is her own person. She got the budget to be able to be the person that she wants without having to sacrifice so much. So it's really sad, like how things work and what's actually selling, because the meaningful stuff, you know, it doesn't sell as much, and that alone could really mess with like someone's like mental, you know, especially when they invest a lot of time in their talents. You know, there's some artists that like they stay in the studio, like they really live in the studio because they're creating, they're collaborating, you know, but they don't really get the same acknowledgement because they're not popular, they're not sellable. Like one of my favorite artists is Roy Woods, and I think he was under like OVO Sound. I haven't heard shit from him. Thought Baby, haven't heard shit from him. You don't hear from the really good artists because they're truly working on themselves. And that's all I'm gonna have to say. I'm gonna finish up my dinner, and yeah, thank you so much for watching.